This is Scott with the Batman universe, and today I am joined by two very special guests. With me is writer Patrick Young and artist Nico Bascuñan, the creative team behind DC's newest Webtoon series, Red Hood Outlaws. If you haven't been reading them, first off, why not? Secondly, 8 episodes are out for free as of this recording on the Webtoon app, with new episodes dropping every Monday. So to start things off, how are you guys?
Patrick, how you? It's been a blast here. It's been a blast since the release. So yeah, I'm having fun with these boys.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm enjoying everyone's reactions to our series, and I'm even more excited to take them on some real roller coaster shit here. So sorry, I don't know. Sorry, swearing.
It's okay, no worries. So you guys have gotten a lot of reaction so far?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Like, what kind, if you don't mind me asking? Like, obviously, it sounds very positive, but do you have any highlights?
Yeah, some great and very kind DMs, and yeah, the fans, the new fans overall, and been amazingly loving it. I don't know, but they love it so far, and I'm very excited to share the next episodes because um, people are being engaged with the first three that after the release. It's been a wildfire on Twitter and Instagram. In fact, in TikTok, I don't know if you use it, but I barely rarely use it. I'm seeing some videos and new edits, and another community is taking over the place over TikTok. And yeah, I don't have too much time to share with TikTok because it's very demanding and very, I don't know, it's a vortex of time. So I uninstalled TikTok, but yeah, no, between all the social media, it's been a great response.
Yeah, it's.
Oh no,
Go
go ahead.
ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, these aren't. Clearly aren't new characters in the DC universe. So there's a lot of fans who these mean a lot to, and it's a very personal connection a lot of people have with these, and so we've been able to hear from a lot of fans who thanked us for the personal touches we've put on these characters and for bringing them back into the spotlight a little bit. And this has been a very Nico and I have made this a very personal story for ourselves. So hearing from anybody else that it's reaching them or that they're connecting with these characters, that's all we want.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, TikTok, I am not. I have one, but I don't really use it. I think I'm too old to understand the framework of it. But yeah, that's great to hear. I have seen some images, shared and people commenting on it, and that makes me...
Some of the images I wish I hadn't seen. I'll be honest.
I don't think I've seen anything too bad.
Exactly.
Mostly Bizarro.
Some fan arts. Some fan arts. Yeah.
Nico's handed out a fair amount of boinks, so.
Yeah, the people went crazy with the hotness, and they like the appearance of the trio. So yeah, they love it so far. So I'm very happy with this because as Patrick said, that this is very personal. This is very personal.
Yeah.
We change a lot of the core of the characters. So this fresh take, I hope they like where we are going.
That's actually leads into the first question I had. I'm going to reword it from how I had it, but for people who don't know, the series stars Red Hood, Artemis, and Bizarro, who were famously a team in Red Hood and the Outlaws before Red Hood returned to Gotham and went solo, and he's now on Task Force Z, if I last remember right, over in the core books. But this brings back that trio, that Outlaws unit they were before. Does this series connect to Red Hood and the Outlaws, and or how much of a connection does it have, or doesn't it?
Patrick?
I mean, in a literal sense, there is no canonical connection here. We're working. We're pretty free and loose over here. We have free range to pick and choose from different timelines and create whatever we want. So there's no technical connection between this team and what's happened in the past, but we are doing our best to respect the things that people loved about that original storyline and pay service to it and use the best parts of it as we can and have.
Yeah, we took the best, only the best, and bring into these new teammates.
It's good to hear. I know you guys, you're making this journey your own. Can you guys elaborate on what inspirations you're pulling from for this new series?
In
Yeah,
my
I mean,
case-
we've. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Nico.
Oh, yeah, okay. In my case, I barely know before jumping this project. Only the basic and the most classical stories about Jason. But Artemis, I didn't know her really know her before, and Bizarro is a classic too. So this is a very challenging, trying to reimagine it from scratch, and for example, for Bizarro is always in the previous one. It's more like a Frankenstein, more like a very not like a clone for a real clone. It's like a failure, but I want to try to push him more in a low poly style, but more likely Superman, Clark Kent. So and the face with the no iris and everything. He's the MVP right now. People love it, but he's very different from the other Bizarro ones. I think this is Patrick has the real ages, the old the current I don't know. Bizarro is just born, and Artemis is immortal, but Jason is in early young days too. So uh, for Jason, I took inspired in my brother. Really, he's very like him with the haircut, the I don't know how you call this cut, but their earrings and everything, and he is very in character like my brother. So this is like what he's been with my these characters have shared with me all a great part of my life. So I try to put all in these pages and the panels. It's more like a family. I treat them like in the first episode is that's the core, the family, and we are telling this story. And for Artemis too, she's like my wife. I took inspired. She's redhead too, and I don't know. My wife has a family with all women. They're all women. So I knew this for the first day. I live in a Amazonian family, woman family takeover. So yeah, that's my inspiration, at least from the real life, not from the comics. To be honest.
No, that's beautiful. That's great to hear, and I like that. Inserting all those real things around you, and it adds character and depth. Patrick, it looked like you were going to say something too. I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh yeah, no, we're fine. I mean, I saw this as a really cool opportunity because with Webtoon obviously comes with its very own specific type of audience, not a typical DC audience, and so we saw a cool opportunity to use a lot of more classical storylines and characters. Like obviously, most people know, but at this point we are using, the Justice League to a certain point, and Martian Manhunter plays a big part of the first in a couple of different arcs. But with the Webtoon format and its audience, we've thrown in a dash of, a little bit of anime inspiration, a little bit more of the slice of life that you'd get from like Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo's Titans stuff. I've thrown a lot of Sailor Moon at at Nico, and a lot of cinematic references. He's a very cinematic artist, and we treat this very much like a movie or TV show. And coming to these. Yeah, go ahead.
No. We try like that because my man Patrick is a great filmmaker, so we use more than those references to apply in a cinematic way. But I love I don't know, it's Cowboy Bebop and those kind of stories on the old 90s anime. It's very inspiring, the 90s anime. That's what
Yeah, and Nico, one of the first things we talked about, and he's done an amazing job with, is the flow that the Webtoon format allows you to do, constantly moving down, constantly flowing into each other and connecting panel to panel. One of the first things we look to is J.H. Williams III's art, especially his run on Batwoman, and specifically the arc with Wonder Woman. Is just so intricate and connected and beautiful, and that's something we've wanted to really treat people with, is that they're scrolling and not an inch is wasted.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, and I think that comes through, from what I've read up to the 8 that are, out there. But yeah, I think that really comes through, and it's such a, fun read. One of the questions I had about character relationships, just hold on, my cat's interrupting. There we go. Is something that feels like it's running behind the scenes, or beneath the plot, is Red Hood and Artemis. I know in like previous incarnations there was a point where I believe Red Hood expressed that he had feelings and they had to part ways or something. Is that something you two are working toward?
I mean, yeah, in the original Outlaws run, I think there may have been 3 kisses in there. They were definitely a thing, and I am definitely a romantic. I'm not gonna come on Webtoon and write something without a little spark and spice in it. I'm also not gonna say anything is gonna last long or end happily, but there will be plenty for all characters involved, romantic fun to be had.
Yeah, drama is setting up. Drama is about to start.
It's too fun and messy, and like Nico was saying, we're treating these characters a little younger than they were in the original Outlaws run.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm way more interested in writing unpolished, a messier, unpolished outlaws who are gonna make mistakes in both of their action and fighting and emotionally. These are people who have a lot to learn, and we're gonna watch them learn these lessons in a very hard way.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the Outlaws for new canon.
Looking forward to
bringing
it.
new origins.
I wanted to touch on the art too, just for a moment. It's, as I mentioned, earlier, it's absolutely, beautiful, and it's so fun to read, and just there's a lot of awe-worthy moments, in there. Personal favorite of mine is in episode 6. I lovingly refer to the image as the Jurassic Park removing the sunglasses shot. Just because of the scope and scale. Nico, exactly. What has been your favorite issue to draw so far?
My favorite episode is the latest, Fast Past. It's the most demanding one. We took about or maybe 4 weeks to complete that, because that episode is chaos. you the From the first panel and the to the last one, episode 11. Episode 11 is my favorite so far, because I don't know, I am in the 14th and 15th episode right now. And yeah, I love it. I love in those, but so far the episode 8 is the pivotal one. It's very important for the storyline, and the I like the backgrounds my team did. Sebastian Franchini, he's Chilean. He's living in United States, and he's been great. And my boys and the girls in the team has been crushing in. And in the episode 8 is I say the pivotal episode, because the art took off from there. There's a new bar we said in that episode. And yeah, no, I really like that, because I took all the liberties with that. Patrick knows is we do it wherever we want to do. So we put a lot of Easter eggs. That's the most with full with Easter eggs in the shots, in the assets, props, suits. You will see. You will see.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say those LexCorp briefcases didn't go unnoticed.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
those
like those.
are very graphical, but you have to pinch it out. But yeah, in the app, you don't see much of the zoom, but if you see the backgrounds, and there are always Easter eggs. It's the most fun part of this big job, is trying to sneak a little bit of our history, and the things the team like the most. They bring their own ideas, and I love it so far. So yeah, no, the 11. Get ready for the 11, man. That's the classes and yeah, it's chaos.
I will say one thing that's been a lot of fun working with the art team with is because this is our own little world, and it's sort of working towards a fresher audience. We don't treat this like The Simpsons or like a cartoon show where the characters are wearing the same outfit every single time. We get to throw them in a bunch of new different outfits every single episode if we want, which has been a lot of fun because I grew up getting all these different 90s Batman action figures, and every third one was Batman in a aquatic suit that's green and neon orange, and like I never got to see that in the animated series, and
Exactly, my man.
we're gonna make a series where you're gonna get 15 different Red Hoods and Artemises, and Bizarro's gonna wear a cowboy hat, and we're just having fun.
That's fun, and I think I know those action figures you're talking about. I have a very clear image of a Batman, same mold as all the other lines, but he's orange.
Yeah.
He's got like the black tiger stripes, and the same one was used for like a all white suit. Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite issue you've written?
Yeah. You got a little bit to get there, a couple months away. You'll get there eventually. Episode 23, it turns the head on kind of the whole series. But I mean, I've enjoyed them all. One of the ways we've really structured out the series in terms of cliffhangers is you get to the end of that panel and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And then the panel one on the next series could completely flip it or flash you back and take it another way. Where I took a lot of, especially with these first 10 to 15 issues, I took a lot of inspiration from one of my favorite TV shows, Lost, where you get, a solid little bit of flashback background info that ties in thematically with everything. And then you get a little bit more at the end that kind of twists and turns things. So it's been really fun playing with the characters and playing with the audience. And, those flashbacks have allowed us to utilize, classic Batman and Wonder Woman, Artemis, and evil Bizarro. So I'm just having a blast. I'm not gonna pick favorites because every single day has been an absolute dream.
Yeah, yeah. Every episode my man writes, it's very challenging because a bunch of new scenes, new places to cover. So as my man
Sorry.
say, we love change. We love change the outfit, the haircut, maybe later, you don't see you will see the progress
Keep
around
every
all the episodes.
keep everybody on their toes too.
Yeah, yeah, because real people don't always look the same when, yeah, this is the second skin. So yeah, it's communicate a lot of things of the characters too.
It's good to hear too the kind of the I'll call it the lost connection, with exploring kind of the histories, because I was going to ask about that because in the first episode we saw a really great bookend of at the top of the issue and the bottom of it of Red Hood's background with Batman, and I really liked kind of the emphasis. Nico, you were saying earlier, family, it's part of a family, the emphasis on that, and the contrast between his feeling part of a family with the Outlaws and not necessarily having that same vibe with Batman or maybe the Bat family. So it's
Yeah,
good to
no, this is
hear we're gonna
before.
get more of that.
This is a little before of the Wayne adventure. So yeah, we will get there. People take two step backs to read our series. They want to because the feedback they want to read and everything is like they want to the Jason Todd adult and with everything good, and no man, we are bringing the original.
One question I had. So we had Martian Manhunter. You guys mentioned the Justice League's involved, and it looks like I don't want to say too much, but in episode 8 there was a certain appeared to be a certain DC arch villain. Has been revealed. Are there any surprise characters that readers can look forward to? Anything you guys can or want to reveal?
Tons of characters, millions of characters. You have no idea.
A ton, man.
I wish I could talk about them all because I'm so excited for y'all to see. Like I've said before, we're working in our own timeline, and the sandbox is ours. We've had free range to use whoever we wanted to, and we have. But like I said, half of the fun is not knowing and the surprise, and I'm not going to ruin that for anybody, especially
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. There's a big appearance in the next issues, so you don't want to miss it then. Big names. That's only I can say.
And then something I wanted to touch on too that I loved, a moment I really appreciated. There was that callback, speaking on Martian Manhunter, that callback of his love of chocos.
Yeah. That's up my man Patrick. He's doing that. But
Gotta have
I
chocos.
missed that. Can I tell that? I totally missed because I don't know that the chocolate and the I draw another type of cookies. And what? Why? No, and later,
It,
I know it.
it's like it's kind of like crack for Martians. They just really love chocos. Right?
Yeah, I didn't
No,
know that, and I did another type of cookie.
it was just one of the humanistic elements we wanted to add in Martian Manhunter's flashback to fully understand that. I mean, this is a nice classic Justice League member, and it doesn't matter. The Outlaws are going to do what the Outlaws are going to do.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh no, you can go ahead. Sorry, I thought I interrupted.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, all I wanted to say is, again, we are using Martian and all these other different characters, but it's all in service of what we want to do with Red Hood and the Outlaws. We have a very specific arc and story we want to tell with them, and we're not just using anybody willy nilly. Everyone serves a purpose, and Yeah.
Yeah, Chekhov's gun. Chekhov's gun. We use everything. If we put it, we will use it. It's not randomly.
I'm gonna hop over for a minute to a couple of questions that aren't Red Hood or Outlaw related. But I
Okay.
saw, Nico, you're a big coffee lover.
Oh man.
So I wanted to ask you about that. Actually, last week, I just had Coffee and Capes on, who fuse roasts with or make comic themed roasts, and they also sell comics in their subscription with their coffee. But do you mind if I ask you, what your choice of coffee is, and
Oh,
do you have a
okay.
favorite brew process with it?
No, I use the traditional like the Italian. I don't know how to is that the correct translation, but the you put in the stove. I love buy in grains and from coffee roasters from here in Chile that import from Ethiopia or Bolivia or Colombia, and always changing because they buy it in to their artisans and farmers in local farmers, and they bring it and roaster here. So I only drink not instant coffee. I don't like it. Or their, I don't know, the Starbucks coffee. That's not good. Not really the true coffee. I love the true coffee, the most um, primal coffee. I'm really a nerd with that, and it's like you pass one threshold and you never came back to taste whatever where this grain came from. No, that's not the taste and the roasters and the coffee roasters.
Mm.
But no, I love the coffee. It's my oil. It's my petroleum here. It's like um I love the taste more of the caffeine. Caffeine doesn't make anything. In my blood is only caffeine right now. But yeah, no, it's like I took not too many cup of tea of coffee a day, but yeah, definitely 4 or 5 at least
Sound
during all the day. That's one of the morning, one after lunch, and
yeah,
but
that's
no, I love coffee. I love the process and everything. No, but no, I drink a lot of in the Italian coffee machine.
that's not yeah. I'd say that sounds like a good number. I think I'm a 4 to 5 cup a day person myself.
Yeah,
So
because when this is more concentrate, so it's more
yeah,
you wake up more. So I don't need to drink a lot too many. But
and
coffee, it's my prime addiction. Yeah.
it's a good one to have. Um, Patrick, you have a few horror films credited to your name. Can you tell us a little bit about your horror background?
I mean, I grew up. My entry into storytelling was through my family. My mom, a huge horror movie fan. I grew up watching Jaws and Poltergeist and Amityville Horror. Uh, but my big jump into things was through my grandmother. I was in third or fourth grade, and I saw her pacing around the living room. And she throws down a book onto the table, and she's like, "You know what? I can't read it. It's too scary." And I was like, why is it too scary? And she's like, "There's some moving bushes. I don't know. I'm just not going to finish this book." And I was like, "Well, that doesn't sound that scary. I'll read it." And it was Stephen King's The Shining book. Um, I devoured it. I loved it, and I've been addicted to Stephen King and horror ever since. Um, and so when I went to school for screenwriting to write movies. And coming out of college, the first thing my friends and I did is we got 20 of us or so together, and we made a horror movie. It's called Bastard. It's a real throwback 80s slasher, heads chopped off, spines ripped out kind of thing. We had an absolute blast, and got a small theater thing, and that got me really involved in the horror community. And those are my people. I love it. And, I've done my best to insert little bits and pieces of horror in here when I can. I know Nico loves drawing, some scary, spooky skeletons. And so
Yeah.
every chance we get, we throw a little bit at you.
It's awesome. With Halloween around the corner, do you have any upcoming horror picks you're looking forward to?
Upcoming. Looking forward to. I mean, it has been a great year for horror. In my opinion, I most recently, if you haven't seen it, Barbarian came out. Which don't watch the trailer, don't look it up, just go into it. It's crazy and wild, and everything I want out of a theater experience. Also reading right now, Junji Ito's new collection of horror stuff. I think it's called Liminal Zones. That's been an absolute blast. And there's always good horror stuff out there. I'm finally getting to the collection of The Autumnal, which is a great fall horror read. If if you haven't read that yet. Pearl in theaters right now. Great, really weird Wizard of Oz type horror movie with a great performance and some really visceral kills. So it's a great time to be a horror level.
Pearl is a prequel. It's before X.
Yeah,
right?
it's a prequel of X. Yeah, and then next year we'll get
I have
the
to see
sequel.
X and Barbarian. I have to see those.
I loved X. I loved X very, very much.
Okay, I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I just watched it for the first time maybe a month ago, I think.
Yeah.
In preparation. And Pearl just got Martin Scorsese's stamp of approval, so all the internet nerds are probably mulling that over.
No, here in Chile, Barbarian just released it last week. So if I have 2 days more and those kind of movies, indie movies and horror, 2 weeks here always. So you don't have too many space to go to movie. Yeah, Barbarian, I'm going to see it, man. If my man recommended, I have to see it.
You mentioned a couple books there. Last question, not necessarily horror related, but what are some of your guys, both of yours, what are some of your favorite comic reads? And to that end, to kind of qualify it, are there any particular Batman stories you love, as well as anything on the Webtoon app that listeners should definitely check out?
I grew up reading these comics. I grew up reading Spawn, Dick Tracy, Batman, the whole breadth of things. I don't stick to just one genre. I'll read everything from Scott Pilgrim to Junji Ito, and there are 1.5 million great Batman stories. More recent stuff I love. Jock's new story. They just got a really nice hardcover. I think it is. Nico, do you know what Jock's story was called?
It's the
one long day, one long night.
One long day. Yeah. No, Jock is amazing. He's a Mondo artist. I know him in Mondo, and later I know he's has some cool books. So yeah, no, I didn't read full I just saw it. Read it every dialogue. I don't have the time, but I just look over. But he's amazing. He's amazing. But I love, as Patrick, I read everything. I read comedy, horror. I love steal from everything. I love take the good shots, and this is good. This is going to serve me. I use it more like that. I don't have too many hours today. I have to a little space in the day for me, and that's, I don't know, 1 hour, half an hour. So what we can do with this little time. So every day I pick one comic or one chapter of one series, but yeah, I don't have too much time to read the nowadays. Like for 1 year working in this, it's very demanding in with my eyes. So that's the problem. I listen to a lot of books on. I'm listen. I'm reading audiobooks like the Sandman one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love everything. Now I'm working with this. I'm taking reading a classic from Elinkal from Jodorowsky and Moebius. I'm yeah, this is my currently
I have that same collection.
repassing
I
this
love it so
masterpiece.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm repassing this masterpiece for the new chapters, and yeah, my rabbit they love it too. But yeah, no, I love a lot of Batman ones. I love the black and white ones. And my favorite artist is from Italy. It's Matteo Scalera, and he's doing One Bad Day, I think. I don't know if he's out, but the reviews are incredible. That I want to read right now in the next weeks. But yeah,
It's hard to keep up right now because there's like 9 Batman titles.
oh, it's
You know,
amazing.
it's insane. I
I
go
don't
to
have
I go to
time.
my local,
Yeah,
yeah. I
in
go to
movies,
Legacy
in
Comics.
series. Oh man,
Yeah,
everything.
it's too
Lots.
much. I go each week and I just grab 5 or 6 of what I want, and I'm really enjoy. I really loved uh in this past year. Human Target was amazing.
Oh, Human
I've been
Target. I just overall that comic book is insane. Savage as
so good.
well. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's
It's
awesome.
Loved
a
it very
classic.
much.
It's very illustrated. So
Hmm.
that's my cup of tea with the more illustrated one. The
Yeah.
classical comics, or more than anime or chibi style and the new anime style. That's the plain one. I don't really like it. Because I don't have too much time though. Yeah, we have to
I'm
choose.
I'm gonna have to check out that one you pulled out, Nico, because I like when you're flipping through it, the pages look really
The
beautiful in
Incal,
there.
the
So
Incal is
yeah,
it's a classical masterpiece. It's
well,
insane, man.
I'm
Let me
behind the
tell you.
times on that one.
Yeah, no, this is like the Age of Stone is this is insane. It is the Jodorowsky. It's a very popular Chilean artist around the world, but you can start like this. It's the fifth element basically.
Huh? It's a
He
good.
did the fifth element before that. Yeah, no, this is an adult one, but yeah, no, it's insane. This is too much.
Before we close here, where can our listeners find you guys?
Oh, across the internet, Nico Bascuñan, you Google it, or N Bascuñan without the ñ, because we don't took our internet and the keyboards yet. But N
And then
Bascuñan, yeah.
I'm most active on Twitter, and you can find me at Just Young Enough or Patrick R. Young on Twitter.
Yeah, we use more Instagram and Twitter, but I'm going to use more TikTok because this is wild. I just um, sign in once in a week for TikTok, and it's an explosion of notifications and interactions because the kids nowadays they can respond you with an video in a comment. So this is wild. Yeah, TikTok and everything.
Awesome. I want to thank both of you for coming on and spending some time. And I know you guys have other things other things you could be doing. So I appreciate it. And for everyone listening, check out Red Hood Outlaws on Webtoon. And yeah, thanks again. And you've been listening to the Batman Universe podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.